Have you ever wondered why, even after a heavy cleaning session in the kitchen, an invisible, sticky layer seems to insist on reappearing, especially in certain spots? This is the silent revenge of grease, a persistent enemy that hides in the most improbable corners, transforming your dream kitchen into a true cleaning nightmare. It's not just about aesthetics. This accumulated grease is an open invitation for bacteria and unpleasant odors, compromising the hygiene and atmosphere of your home. Prepare to discover the 7 most treacherous hiding spots for grease in your kitchen, revealing where it relentlessly accumulates and how you can combat it once and for all. Be ready to have your perception of kitchen cleaning completely transformed. By the end, you'll have an arsenal of knowledge to banish this sticky invader and keep your kitchen impeccably clean, free from unpleasant surprises. The journey begins now, and I promise you won't want to miss a single detail. Chapter 1. The Range Hood and Extractor Fan. The greasy heart of the kitchen. The range hood or extractor fan, often seen as mere technological adornments, are actually the unsung heroes of your kitchen, but also the first to succumb to grease's revenge. They work tirelessly to suck up steam and smoke, carrying grease particles that lodge in their filters and surfaces. Over time, this accumulated grease forms a sticky, dark crust, compromising the appliance's effectiveness and transforming it into a nest of dirt. The filters, whether metallic or activated carbon, are the main targets. They are designed to retain grease, but if not cleaned or replaced regularly, they quickly become saturated. When this happens, grease starts to drip and run, dirtying the stove and pans below. Furthermore, clogged filters force the appliance's motor to work harder, increasing energy consumption and significantly reducing its lifespan. The external surface of the range hood is also a magnet for grease. The steam laden with grease particles condenses on it, forming a film that, over time, adheres to the surface. This layer is not only unsightly, but also extremely difficult to remove if not cleaned frequently. It's the kind of dirt that requires effort and specific products to be eliminated. Grease on the range hood is not just a matter of visible dirt. It affects the air you breathe. Dirty filters and greasy surfaces can release unpleasant odors that spread throughout the house. Additionally, the reduced efficiency of the range hood means more steam and grease remain suspended in the kitchen air, settling on other surfaces and accelerating dirt accumulation elsewhere. To combat grease's revenge on the range hood, regular cleaning is essential. Metallic filters should be washed every 2 weeks with hot water and degreaser, while carbon filters need to be replaced periodically. The external surface should be cleaned daily with a damp cloth and a multi-purpose product to prevent accumulation. Taking care of your range hood ensures it continues to protect your kitchen. Chapter 2. Walls and tiles, the greasy mapping. Walls and tiles near the stove are prime targets for grease that spreads through the air during cooking. Every oil splatter, every wisp of steam rising from pans carries tiny grease particles that adhere to vertical surfaces. Over time, this invisible layer transforms into a sticky, dark film, especially visible on light-colored tiles or matte-painted walls, revealing the silent revenge of grease. The grout lines between tiles are the real villains here. Their porous texture and microscopic crevices are perfect for trapping grease and dirt. Once grease settles in these spaces, it mixes with dust and other residues, creating dark, hard-to-remove stains. It's in these small cracks that dirt accumulates deeply, challenging superficial cleanings and requiring special attention. Your kitchen's location and cooking frequency directly influence accumulation. Kitchens without good ventilation, or those where frying is common, will see their walls and tiles become greasy much faster. This dirt is not just unsightly, it can become a breeding ground for bacteria and mold, especially in humid environments, compromising your home's overall hygiene. Cleaning these areas requires patience and the right products. Ignoring grease stains on walls and tiles means allowing them to set even more, making removal increasingly difficult. Old grease solidifies and becomes almost a crust, requiring vigorous scrubbing and sometimes damaging the paint or the shine of the tiles. It's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken with a routine. To prevent walls and tiles from becoming a greasy nightmare, preventive cleaning is the best strategy. Wipe surfaces with a damp cloth and degreaser after each cooking session, especially if there are visible splatters. 4 grout lines, a stiff bristled brush, and a specific grease cleaning solution will work wonders, ensuring your kitchen remains clean and welcoming. Chapter 3: Top of Cabinets and Refrigerator, the Unexpected Grease Rain. We often forget about places that aren't directly in our line of sight, and that's exactly where grease plans its most insidious revenge: on top of cabinets and the refrigerator. Hot steam, laden with grease particles from cooking, rises towards the ceiling and, upon encountering a colder surface, like the top of these appliances and furniture, condenses and settles, forming a sticky layer that discreetly accumulates over time. This layer of grease, invisible at first glance, acts as a magnet for dust and other debris floating in the kitchen air. As weeks and months pass, this mixture transforms into thick, dark dirt, extremely difficult to remove if not tackled frequently. It's silent proof that grease is always at work, even in the least obvious places, challenging our cleaning routine. The difficulty of accessing these areas contributes to the problem. Who remembers climbing on a stool to clean the top of a cabinet every week? Because they are out of sight and require extra effort to reach, these spots are often neglected, allowing grease to solidify and become ingrained in the surfaces. This inertia only strengthens grease's revenge in our kitchen. Accumulated grease on top of cabinets and the refrigerator is not just an aesthetic problem. It can also affect the air quality in your kitchen. Grease and dust particles can loosen and fall onto exposed food or preparation surfaces, compromising your family's hygiene and health. It's an invisible risk that worsens every day cleaning is postponed, proving that grease is a treacherous enemy. To combat this insidious accumulation, the tip is to create a barrier. Lining the top of cabinets and the refrigerator with plastic wrap, parchment paper, or newspaper can greatly facilitate cleaning. Every few weeks, simply remove the dirty sheet and replace it with a new one, taking all the accumulated grease and dirt with it. For those who prefer direct cleaning, use a good degreaser and a damp cloth, ensuring these high spots are not forgotten. Chapter 4: Cabinet and Drawer Pulls, the Daily Greasy Touch. Cabinet and drawer pulls are perhaps the most neglected spots in the war against kitchen grease, and that's precisely why they become places where grease's revenge silently acts. Every time you open a drawer or a cabinet to grab an utensil or ingredient, your hands, even if seemingly clean, transfer microparticles of grease and residue. Over time, this small transfer accumulates, transforming the pulls into sticky, dark surfaces. The texture and material of the pulls directly influence how easily grease adheres. Brushed metal pulls, for example, can retain more dirt in their grooves than those with a smooth surface. Grease mixes with dirt and dust from the environment, forming a crust that, besides being unsightly, is a paradise for bacterial proliferation, transforming a simple detail into a source of contamination. The location of the pulls is also crucial. Those closer to the stove or trash can tend to accumulate grease and dirt much faster. Constant exposure to kitchen steam and smoke accelerates the impregnation process, requiring more frequent cleaning. It's a reminder that grease is always lurking, waiting for an opportunity to stick to the most touched areas. The persistence of this grease on pulls can damage furniture finishes in the long run. If the grease layer is not removed regularly, It can corrode the varnish or paint, leaving permanent marks and harming the appearance of your kitchen. Furthermore, the sticky sensation when touching these poles is extremely unpleasant, compromising the daily use experience of your space. To combat grease's revenge on poles, the solution is simple and effective: daily cleaning. Wipe poles with a damp cloth and a little degreaser every time you clean the stove countertop. For a deeper clean, use an old toothbrush or a cotton swab to reach crevices and corners, ensuring no grease residue escapes. This small routine will make a big difference in your kitchen's hygiene and appearance. Chapter 5: Small Appliances, the Greasy Infiltrators. If you keep your small appliances such as toasters, sandwich makers, blenders, or mixers near the stove, they are in the line of fire for grease's revenge. Steam and splatters that spread during cooking are not limited to the walls. They travel through the air and settle on the surfaces of these appliances. Over time, this grease layer mixes with ambient dust, forming a sticky and often invisible dirt that compromises the hygiene and appearance of your utensils. The difficulty of cleaning some of these appliances aggravates the problem. Many have crevices, buttons, and details that are perfect for grease to hide and accumulate. Once dirt settles in these small spaces, removing it becomes an arduous task, requiring specific tools like cotton swabs or small brushes. It's a silent but constant challenge that transforms your kitchen allies into sticky enemies. Grease on appliances is not just an aesthetic problem. It can affect the functioning and durability of the appliances. Electronic components and buttons can be compromised by dirt and grease infiltration, leading to malfunctions or even appliance burnout. Additionally, the presence of grease and residue can attract insects and pests, making your kitchen a less safe and hygienic environment. The lack of routine in cleaning these items is the main fuel for grease's revenge. Many people only clean these appliances when the dirt is already visible and ingrained, making the process much more laborious. Grease, when dry and hardened, adheres firmly to surfaces, requiring stronger products and considerable effort to be removed, which could be avoided with preventive cleaning. To protect your small appliances from grease's revenge, prevention is the key word. If possible, store them in closed cabinets when not in use. If you keep them on the counter, clean them regularly with a damp cloth and a mild degreaser, especially if they are near the stove. A quick wipe after each use, or at least weekly, will ensure they remain clean and functioning perfectly away from grease's clutches. Chapter 6: The Floor in Front of the Stove, the Slippery Trap. The floor in front of the stove is one of the most treacherous places where grease accumulates, transforming your kitchen into a minefield of dangers. Every oil splatter that escapes the pan, every drop of sauce that falls as you stir food, settles directly in this area. Over time, even invisible splatters create a film of grease that, when mixed with dust and food residue, makes the floor slippery and dangerous, a true trap. The floor's texture directly influences the accumulation and difficulty of removing this grease. Porous floors, or those with wide grout lines, are more prone to absorbing grease, making cleaning even more challenging. Once grease penetrates these surfaces, it clings tightly, requiring specific products and extra effort to be eliminated, proving that grease's revenge can be quite slippery. The lack of frequent cleaning significantly aggravates the problem. If the floor in front of the stove is not cleaned daily, grease solidifies and creates an adherent layer that is not only unsightly, but also a serious fall hazard. This constant accumulation compromises your kitchen's safety, transforming a food preparation environment into a place prone to serious household accidents. Besides the danger of slips, accumulated grease on the floor can become a source of bad odors and attract pests. Food particles and moisture that mix with grease create an ideal environment for the growth of bacteria and fungi, releasing unpleasant odors throughout the kitchen. It's a constant reminder that superficial cleaning is not enough to contain grease's revenge. To keep your kitchen floor safe and spotless, daily cleaning of the area in front of the stove is indispensable. Use a powerful degreaser and a damp cloth to remove splatters as soon as they occur. Once a week, do a deeper cleaning with hot water and a specific floor detergent, using a stiff bristled broom or a brush for the grout lines. This constant attention will ensure your kitchen is always a safe and hygienic place. Chapter 7. The interior of the oven and microwave, the greasy combustion chamber. The interior of the oven and microwave are true combustion chambers for grease, and that's where it orchestrates one of its most repulsive and difficult to combat revenges. During cooking, splatters of sauces, oils, and food juices splash onto the walls, ceiling, and base of these appliances. With heat, these residues carbonize, transforming into dark, sticky crusts, often with a strong smell that permeate your kitchen's environment. In the oven, every time you turn it on, accumulated grease is reheated, releasing smoke and unpleasant odors that can contaminate other foods and spread throughout the house. This carbonized layer is not just unsightly, it can compromise the oven's efficiency, as dirt prevents uniform heat distribution, affecting the cooking of your dishes and increasing energy consumption. It's a vicious cycle of dirt and inefficiency. The microwave, in turn, is also an easy target. Exploding a sauce, heating soup, or even the steam from food can cause grease and food particles to deposit on the inner walls. Over time, this dirt hardens and becomes a crust, attracting bacteria and releasing bad odors that transfer to the food you heat, compromising hygiene and taste. The difficulty of removing this ingrained grease is one of the biggest challenges. Carbonized grease crusts are extremely resistant and require specific products and a lot of patience to be eliminated. Many people postpone this cleaning precisely because of its complexity, allowing dirt to accumulate even more and become a nightmare, the ultimate proof of grease's revenge in action. To prevent the interior of your oven and microwave from turning into grease chambers, immediate cleaning is your best ally. After each use, wipe splatters while the appliance is still slightly warm in the case of the oven, or use a damp cloth in the microwave. For a deeper clean, use specific degreasing products for ovens and microwaves, following the manufacturer's instructions. A homemade tip for the microwave is to heat a bowl of water with lemon slices for a few minutes. The steam softens the dirt and facilitates removal, ensuring your appliances remain clean and efficient. Conclusion: grease's revenge in the kitchen is a real and persistent phenomenon, but as we've seen, it's not invincible. By identifying the 7 most treacherous places where it accumulates, from the range hood and walls to the pulls, appliances, the floor, and the interior of the oven and microwave, you gain the knowledge needed to combat it effectively. The key to keeping your kitchen impeccably clean and hygienic lies in prevention and a cleaning routine, transforming the grease nightmare into efficient and gratifying control. Remember that kitchen cleaning is an investment in your health and your home's well-being. Small daily and weekly actions can prevent major headaches in the future. If you like these tips and want to learn more about how to keep your home always clean and organized, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your participation helps us continue bringing valuable content to you.